Hello and welcome everyone. Today we're going to be discussing customizing work orders and workflow within the RentPost system. We're talking about specifically getting into the property manager role, property management side here first. So if you're a property manager, you go ahead and log into your RentPost account. You'll show up here, obviously at the home screen. So I'll navigate you here from this screen. You go up to your account settings and then down to work orders. So with this one, the workflow has already been set up, but I'll go in here and I'll show you what it would look like. So with this one, the first stage, which is titled the first stage, second stage, third stage, all the way down to the seventh stage. And so here the first stage is showing open newly submitted. So within this one, I'll go ahead and edit. Okay. So I can name this whatever I'd like to do. So within your organization, you want to find out what are the stages that your group uses in order to handle new work orders. So you want to duplicate that within the system. There, you may find some efficiencies within the system that will allow you to get rid of some stages, or perhaps you might want to add an extra stage within there. Maybe it makes it easier for someone to come back in and double check what somebody else has done, and maybe that's a stage that you want to create. So just depends on how you would like to work, and you can always edit that whenever you'd like to. So to start here, we have open newly submitted. Now this checkbox here says vendors are allowed. So they're allowed to come in and update and change the status of this particular work order. And then there is always the option here for considering it closed. So once you reach that last stage, and I'll click on that too. There's the last stage, it says closed archive. Now obviously you see here, considered closed. So it's showing closed to the tenants and to the owners, and I think as well as the vendors. So, and this one is actually something that in our environment, we are allowing the vendors to edit this, so they can come in and say that it is closed. So that may not be something that you want the vendors to be able to do. It's just whatever your preference is. And I'm going to go down here as well. So these are request form questions. So what you can do is edit these questions to say, what time will you be available? Okay, we'll call it availability. Is it required? We show it only to tenants, and then we'll go down to this one. Are you requesting a rent deduction? You can have a select, so you can drop down, select multiple, a text area, checkbox, text field, or custom. And you have it show only to tenants. You make it required, and here are the options that you can give them to drop down. So these are bits of information that you may need in order to fulfill these work order requests. And so if there are things that are the same questions that you're going to ask somebody every single day, every time that a work order is submitted, it would make sense to go ahead and plug some of these in here. If it is something that is vital, obviously make it required. If only the tenants need to fill it out, maybe it's not a vendor question, it's just a tenant question, put that there and they'll be able to see that. I'll go down here as well, show this last one. This is a text field, so they can fill out, how long has this been an issue? They can put in free form whatever they need to put in. So, and we'll go into the work orders section as well to show you how this particular workflow has been set up to work for this situation. So work orders. So you see on the right side here, this is what you'll see on your screen if you're a property manager. You can see where the actual work orders are within these stages, how many of them are in these stages. So newly submitted, we have 4. Open additional info needed, we have 2, and we can actually filter by using those. So this one needs additional information. What kind of information do we need? Okay, we can go down here and chat with them to figure that out. Okay, here are some that work is completed but is unpaid. Well, if we have not, say, given them an invoice, then we need to do so. And here's some information. Here's the invoice here for these guys. So you can put that in there for them as well. So they know that they've gotten it. It's been assigned to Tony here for that. So there it is, completed and paid. Different one, obviously. And here are some of the ones that are closed and archived for future reference if we need to. And we can always open them back up if we need to as well. Say it was a problem that we believed was fixed and actually wasn't fixed. So we can go back and say, okay, let's just reopen the one that we had before. Obviously, this isn't done, even though someone has said that it is done. So, and down here are some stats that we'll use to report on this. So we'll say six work orders are open, and one work order was submitted so far this month. And here are the average of how many are actually submitted, and units by work order this year. So this is especially important because if you, well, heck, if you're a property owner, you need to know why or which of your properties are causing the most problems. Why are they causing those problems? Is this just a trouble property? Do you need to spend some more money to fix it up? Or is it not worth that investment? It doesn't make more sense to go ahead and sell that investment. So, and to be able to provide that information to your property owners or to yourself as a property manager, it's rather valuable. So once again here, you can filter based on a particular property if you're looking for that as well. And I'll go ahead and get into the add work order section so you can see where these questions actually come in. So we'll create this one. We'll go ahead and assign this to these guys. And we know the availability. Let's say the tenant is actually out, and they can't go ahead and create this new work order for themselves. You as the property manager can obviously come in here and create one for them. And if you know what times and days they're usually available, go ahead and work that up for them so that they're not going to have to do it. And it can go ahead and get processed because you may have more of a sense of urgency with particular problems within a unit, more so than the tenant themselves, and vice versa. They may find that something is very, very urgent, needs to be done immediately, whereas you may decide that that sense of urgency is too much, and you may need to adjust that. So just trying to find that happy medium within there, and that communication is very important whenever you're dealing with these situations, especially when the property owner is aware that these repairs are needing to be made, that this is a particularly troublesome property that needs to have some work done to it. They knew that, and they don't want to be surprised when you're going to have to say, well, hey, you're not going to get as much rent this month because we had to do these fixes. So they'll be well aware of that and prepared for it accordingly. So here's a question that was a custom one that we put in earlier. That is, are you requesting a rent deduction? And so for this instance, this is important. And but you can put whatever questions you would like in there. And fill out the description, status. Now, this status is part of our workflow. So this is obviously a new one, so we'll just keep what we have here, but we'll say that it is urgent. So there's a fire downstairs, and we can upload a file, so we can put a photo here along with that. Yeah, you'll see this has been updated, and we'll go back to the newly submitted. This is IntelliSort. This is telling us what is most urgent. Obviously, if this is urgent and it's that many days old, it needs to be addressed more than immediately. So we can do it by date submitted. And by urgency here. So here we go. This is the one that we just created. So let them know. And give them the reply. And they'll see that in their tenant portal. And when you decide to go ahead and assign this, which we've already done in this instance, the vendor is already in our system here. I didn't create that new vendor, and I'll show you actually real quick where that vendor is located. So you'll see here in our directory that we have the vendors and the tenants and the owners all together here. So if we need to, we can add a new vendor. If they are the company, we can just click that and some of their information. If we need this, we can do that. Are they a part of a group, plumbers, contractors? We can do that as well. And so that way, whenever we do assign that to them, they are aware of it, and they'll be able to address what those issues are in a timely manner. And you can say, hey, you guys are on our portal. You should know that you've received this information. So right here. So here are the assignees. You can see that here as well. These are the vendors that we've used in the past, and here's the latest one that we've just submitted. Once again, it's pulled it up, and it is now a minute old. So some documents you can edit. Just hit select again, but you can change who is assigned this as well. If you don't like those guys, they've done a bad job on another property, you go ahead and reassign that. It said send email so that they're aware. If their email is in there, they'll get that email, lets them know, hey guys, this is something that needs to get done. Here's assignee, so that's obviously changed because they are no longer the group that's assigned that, and it was Bob's Builders. So we'll go back to Bob's Builders and we see, oh, here are both of the assigned work orders for them. We see that illustrated there, and we see exactly when that was submitted. We have an ID that was created that's unique for that particular submission. And if they'd like to reply to you and say, hey, we can't make it out Monday, we can make it out Tuesday, you'll see that then, and then you could schedule everything else accordingly. You can notify the tenant and just say, hey guys, by the way, they're actually going to come out on Tuesday. I know you said you're available Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday's the day they're coming out between the hours that you selected. So anyway, well, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us. You can send us a chat, or you can talk with us on the YouTube page or our Google Plus page. And anyway, happy renting.